debate, Question Zonals competition. We would like to acknowledge the presence of the eminent panel of judges, without which the program would be incomplete. Mr. Muhammad Riaz, he is the business head of Alpha Kama Estate. He is a VP Education of Pace Toastmasters Club. Mr. Khalil Ahmed is a mechanical engineer by profession and past ex-divisional edge governor of Toastmasters Club. TM Asra Girmani is also a Toastmaster. For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument and debate. The aim for argument or discussion should not be victory but progress. Debate is a formal discussion on a particular topic about its pros and cons. It is done in a formal manner with certain rules and regulations. Prayer should be the key of the day and lock of the night. I would like to call Master Abdullah Hussaini for Qiraat and its translation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praises and thanks be to Allah, the Lord of the universe, the most compassionate, the most merciful, the only owner of the day of judgment. You alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those on whom you have bestowed your favor, not of those who have incurred your anger, not of those who have gone astray.
Thank you, Master Abdullah. From sweaty palms to cracking voices, speaking publicly can be terrifying, yet it is a crucial skill to have in the arena of public speaking. You can speak well if your tongue can deliver the message of your heart. When roots of knowledge are deep, there is no reason to fear the questions. I will now take the immense pleasure to invite Principal of New Alvarud International School, Jeddah, Peter Sir, to address the gathering.
Respected Principal in Charge, International Indian School, Jeddah, Dr. Najib Qais Ahmad, respected Vice Principal Farahman, respected panel of judges, respected headmaster, headmistress from both International Indian School, Jeddah as well as New Alvarud International School, teacher representatives from various CBSE affiliated schools from Western Province, as well as the participants for today's debate competition, as well as my dear students, teachers, my dear colleagues. Good morning to you one and all. Good morning. Debate, discussion, dialogue has been the hallmark and the basic element of any civilized society. And we all know, we all study, is a basic element of any democratic societies. And today, to my right and to my left, there will be a group of students will be discussing and debating on some of the live issues facing today. Something on media, role of media, the importance of the vocational and technical training. Of course, they will be debating, they will be discussing, and they will not be agreeing to one another. They will be opposing one another, but one basic agreement, agree to disagree. And rightly pointed out, only through dialogue, discussion and debate we make progress, because we understand one another's ideas and thoughts. I wish all these participants best of luck, and end of the day, when we walk out of this auditorium, we will all be enlightened, enriched, and more wise than what we are right now. At this very outset, I extend a warm welcome to today's chief guest as well as the principal in charge of International Indian School, Jeddah, Dr. Najib Qais Amar, for agreeing to be present both for the inaugural ceremony as well as the awards ceremony in spite of his busy schedule. Can we all put our hands together and welcome him? This sounds better. I also welcome the Vice Principal, Girls Section, Farad Ma'am, for supporting us in hosting this debate program and giving us all guidance. Welcome, ma'am. To evaluate today's versatile debate, we have an eminent panel of judges. To begin with, Toastmaster Khalil Ahmad, the past Division H Governor, is a mechanical engineer by profession, and he is a committed Toastmaster for the last 10 to 15 years, well known in Jeddah. Welcome, sir. We are also privileged to have with us Toastmaster Muhammad Riaz. He is a business head of Al-Fatma establishment, as well as is a VP Education at Pace Toastmaster Club. Welcome, sir. We are also privileged to have with us Toastmaster Azra Kirmani from Elite Toastmaster Club. Welcome, ma'am. We cannot forget the support given by Mrs. Rita Sharma, the headmistress of, I think we can make out how popular she is. The headmistress of the girls section. And also I am privileged to have with me my colleague, Headmaster Mr. Sunil sir, Headmistress Mrs. Smita ma'am, New Alur International School. And we cannot forget the support given by Headmaster Mr. Naufal when hosting this program. Is not here, but he will be here shortly. I must place in a record, even though we are hosting it, this could not have been possible without the support and the help given by the International Indian School, Jeddah. Right from the day one, they are guiding us, supporting us. And with their support, we could present this occasion. Once again, thank you so much for the support. And also, I must place a record the support and the help provided by all my colleagues, teachers from New Alur International School. I am privileged to have a dedicated staff, a dedicated team of teachers. I thank all the participants here, the teacher representatives and the participants from various schools. Welcome once again, and also all the students present over here. As I said earlier, We will be enriched, enlightened at the end of the day with a wonderful debate. I wish you all the best. Let us have a pleasant day. Welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. So here we call upon the Principal of International Indian School, Jeddah, Dr. Najib Qais Amar Sir, for the inaugural address.
Principal Al-Warood International School, Mr. Peter Renard, HMs of Al-Warood School, teachers, judges, guests, colleagues, participants of the debate from all schools of Western region, and my dear students sitting here in this auditorium. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. As all of you know, today we all are here to have debate on the very important topics mentioned here, global media and vocational courses. Dear students, dear participants, debate in these days, effective communication is very important. It is very important to learn the techniques of effective communication, and debate is one of the most important tools through which you can learn effective communication, effective and convincing communication. First of all, let me express my thanks to the Principal Al-Warood International School for accepting our request to hold this debate. So wholeheartedly he accepted our request, and all of you can see how nicely everything is arranged here, starting from the stage, seating plan and everything. So thank you, sir, for doing all these things. I welcome all the teams of the Western region who are here to participate in the debate, and hope that they will put their best in the debate and bring loyal to their school. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Debate is not about argumentation. It is about exchange of ideas and polishing your intelligence. Let us commence the junior debate first. The topic for juniors debate is media is an effective tool for influencing the society. I repeat, media is an effective tool for influencing the society. I would like to request the speakers for the motion to come up on the stage and occupy their seats according to the matching signboards, followed by the speakers against the motion. Kindly come on the stage, speakers.
Kindly occupy the seats as the chess numbers given to you.
Thank you, speakers.
Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed and no republic can survive. So here we call upon Anita ma'am, HOD of English Department of New Al-Furud Girls Section, to elaborate the rules of debate.
I would like to brief you all about the rules and regulation and code of conduct for this debate. First and foremost, students are allowed to carry your notes to your seats, but you are not supposed to carry your notes on the podium for the main speeches. Once again, I will repeat, you are not to carry your notes on the podium, but you can keep on your seats. Papers are provided to you. You can note down or jot down the points for rebuttal. During the rebuttal session, you are allowed to carry your paper to the podium. The speaker must conform to a formal mode of speech. Direct criticism and controversy should be avoided. The speakers must abstain from criticizing the rules, customs, and practices of host country. Sex and religion must not be broached upon in an offensive manner. The speaker must adhere to a courteous manner. Participants are requested not to reveal their names or identity at any time of your speech. The decisions of the panel of judges will be final and indisputable. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes of speech with grace period of 15 seconds to conclude his or her speech. A warning bell will be rung at the end of 3 minutes. All the contestants, please make a note. A warning bell will be rung at the end of 3 minutes. Second bell indicates the expiry of grace period. The third and final bell will be rung at the end of 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If the participant continues to speak after third bell, it will result in his or her disqualification. After every speech, 30 seconds time will be allotted for the judges to mark their judgment. The speakers will be given a 5 minutes interval for the preparation of rebuttal. Each speaker will be given 1 minute and 30 seconds. The order followed for the main speeches will be followed for the rebuttal session 2. Rebuttal is countervailing of the evidences and rationale proposed by the opponents. Please make a note, your rebuttal speech should not be extension of your main speech. So all the heartbeats have gone up and everyone is eager to sink in the depth of today's power-packed debate session. Without wasting any time, I would hand over the mic to comparer.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to introduce Ms. Dwiti, the timer for today. Let's start off with the first speaker in order, F1. Audience, please give a big round of applause.
It takes discipline not to let media steal your time. Whoever controls the media controls the minds. Honorable judges, teachers, students, and not to forget my worthy opponents. A very good morning to one and all. Today I stand before you to speak for the topic, media is an effective tool to influence the society. As we all know, media is one of the most powerful tools of communication in developing countries and in developed countries. It can aid in promoting right things at right point of time. It also shares a strong message to the world about what is right and what is wrong. No one can deny the blessings of media we have in our day-to-day lives. Some of the scholars have said that media are storehouses of information. Sometimes this information is used to change individual sentiments, and at this point of time, we call it media influence. During elections, politicians, candidates, devotees publicize themselves in the media to help the society select their ideal leaders. Thus, this can be concluded that yes, media has a powerful influence on the society. Internet being one of the biggest sectors of media, its popularity emerged at the highest peak during the 1990s. And since then, it has proved to be a huge role in human civilization and human development. The enormous and fast-paced development of technology over the last 25 years compared to the last 100 years of human civilization has shown a great leap forward in the world that we live in today. Further advancements in this internet has resulted into social media like Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook and whatnot, which also plays an important role in influencing the society. Let me take an example of Irom Chanu Sharmila, the Iron Lady of Manipur, who hunger strike for 16 long years for justice. She gained popularity and supporters through Twitter revolution by the hashtag Justice for Irom. Hashtag MeToo Challenge is also an example of Twitter revolution, where social networking sites like Twitter is used to influence the society to come forward, raise your voices against what you feel is wrong. Do you know that media can also be a great role when it comes to spreading social awareness? The Kerala floods has proved it. It has demonstrated the role of social media and IT in the world that we live in today. The state government has proved and created social networking sites to influence the youth, the local people, the individuals to come forward and help those people who are in need. And the results may startle my opponents. A total number of 13,64,704 people has assigned themselves as volunteers through these websites. Let me conclude my words by saying, no two things are equal in its spirit or its implication. Let it be real or abstract, and its relevance depends on how you use any tool in its right way. Thank you.
Thank you, S1. Now I request A1 to come on the dais.
Using media to destroy or hurt a person is careless. When I say destroy, it totally destroys everybody. So what I suggest is go outside and find love. When I say love, it doesn't mean you have to find a girlfriend or boyfriend. Remember that. So, yes. Okay, keep laughing. Along a pleasant good morning to one and all. Respected jury members, teachers, and all worthy opponents. Along a pleasant good morning to one and all. I, chess number A1, is standing in front of you to debate against the topic, media is an effective tool for influencing society. When I totally disagree to what you guys are saying. Media isn't totally something that you're supposed to be acceptable on. Media is the role of media is that it's a watchdog of the politicians. When I say watchdog of politicians, it is a watchdog. It takes care about the negative spots as well as the positive spots. But nowadays in media, we're never covered up with reality. It's always fake news that are just cooked up by different media members. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard about entertainment media. When I mean by entertainment media, it's supposed to entertain us, not detain us. So I'll give you a song that's supposed to be entertain us, but then nowadays it's not entertaining us. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard about char bottle vodka. It isn't something that gives you a role or an act towards us. It takes you to an addiction of drugs. So this song never leads you to acceptable ways. It leads you to drug addictions. And another example is about gaming. I'm pretty sure most of you guys like to play games, especially PUBG or Fortnite. If you guys like the flosses and other manky stuffs, well, let me tell you something. There is one game that skunked many young teenagers to death. When I mean by death, it was literally freaking death. It was Blue Whale. If you guys haven't heard about Blue Whale, sorry people, you lived a sad life. So Blue Whale is a game which killed innocent lives of teenagers. And media kind of supported them since they said that, like they influenced the society to play Blue Whale by giving them thoughts, by giving them many like positive vibes about it. Well, let me tell you something. Media isn't always the greatest part of life. We have to go around searching for our own positive vibes and positive news other than negative ones. And another example is, a positive example is that we can notice there was an accident that happened in 2014 in Punjab. Well, this isn't something to be happy about or glad about. It's totally sad. So there were a few people that were traveling on a bus. There were 3 girls, 3 boys, and an old woman. So the old woman didn't have a place to sit down. So the guy, one of the 3 boys asked them to asked the 3 girls to sit aside so that the old lady can sit down. Well, I would love to continue, but then the bell rang. Sorry. So let me tell you something. Media is like a mirror. It's supposed to show us the flaws on us. And if it doesn't, what kind of a mirror is that? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker A1.
Let me check what's today's weather. Oh, what a fabulous magazine cover. Wait, let me check how much likes I got for my Kiki challenge. Today definitely I'm going to wear the Zara dress I bought. Audience, did you see how media plays a significant role in our life? Honorable dignitaries, encouraging audience, and my worthy opponents. A pleasant morning to one and all. The media is designed to tell the people what to think about the world's issues and the stories of a significant portion of the society. It fires a bullet of information which never fails to influence our people. It plays a vital role in how people view their life. It is the one that brings the trends and genres of different types of products, from your tip to your toe, from your footwear to your hair color. So my dear friends, let me ask you a question. Don't you agree with me that even our communication skills are highly influenced by the media? Researchers like David Beckingham and David Gauntlett in their recent researches have evidence that the current generation has sophisticated level of media literacy. Psychologists have proved that media adds creativity to your thinking. It helps us to explore and evolve without the fear of rejection. In democracy, media is the 4th pillar. It gives the people the power to make the government and break the government. Media is the backbone of the Indian democracy. The roots of media can be traced back to the time of the nationalist movement. Media gives us an opportunity to amplify our voice, influence people, and create a tribe of passionate followers who want to hear from you. It also gives us an opportunity to raise issues like the #MeToo campaign. It spread all over the globe like wildfire. The nation wants to know. My dear friends, let me ask you a question. Why do you think the North Korean president, Kim Jong-un, is not letting the media expose much about the country? Well, of course we know that. It will influence the people and change their perspective of the citizens on different issues. The success and influence of media speaks volume when the sales of newspapers and magazines surpasses. Even the TRP ratings of different programs, billboards and advertisements shows us the power of media. My dear friends, let's accept the fact. Media is our eyes for the world. Our beliefs are
A world.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker F2.
Participants, you are requested that you should come on the podium when your test number is announced.
The next speaker on the dais is A2.
Luminaries, intellectuals, evaluators, and audience, a world's been dear to you all. My words today will swim against the tide. I'm going to say that media does not manipulate our minds more than our ability to influence it. In fact, the uniqueness of each man's thought affects the growth of media in a great deal. Media tries to influence and tries to create bullets and media fires bullets into our minds with Media's greed to channel ratings has tempted to sensationalize daily lifestyle levels as that the word trust has become a fantasy. If media actually influence human minds, TV ads on smoking kills is supposed to chill your blood. But instead of smoking decreasing, the number of cold bodies piling up are increasing. 7 million die every year just because of this tiny little cylinder, and a huge portion by being just exposed. The girl child is empathy and protected all over the media, but has her still gotten better? No! Media cannot influence human minds because media itself is a confusion. Different types of media speak of different ideas, leaving us to form our own beliefs. Media shots are sometimes deflected to what was not actually meant to happen. They gossip about these controversial leaders with the aim of alienating them. But what they actually do is, these leaders gain more publicity and are setting off to make certain countries great again. People do not form their opinion just because a certain journalist said so and so. They form their opinion based on their society, their surroundings, their situation, and what is beneficial for them. My worthy opponents, do you really think that the poor and illiterate living in underdeveloped countries struggling for food care about the media? They don't even have access to newspapers or books. Movies and serials are launched annually with the sole aim of morality, but instead they kill your time in return for an obscure moral that nobody grasps. Serials has turned out to be simply an exercise for your tear glands. I mean, if you guys consider that an effective influence. People, we are gifted a mind, not without a purpose. And the purpose of the mind is to influence your decisions. If the mind is not the best instrument to influence mankind, it wouldn't have been placed at the top. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker F3. The next speaker on the dais is F3.
Gentlemen, ladies, a warm morning to one and all. We swore down to democracy, the watchdogs to public interest, the political catalyst, the fire to revolutions. Media. Media has served us all, and it has served us well. From the newspapers to the radios to the mega edifice in our pockets, media has slowly come to incorporate the majority of our lives. This, my opposition must at least agree to. In today's competitive, fast-paced and cognizant world, changing your society and at large the world is becoming more and more easier. And TBH, tempting. any opinion and any cognition can be broadcasted to the corners of the world, gaining like thinkers and followers faster and stronger than ever before. Well, my opponents, how can this ability ever do harm to our society? That I do not understand. For surely there has been a glitch in the matrix, for their thinking and opinions have been thwarted by hypothetical situations. Every word and every inch of whatever is quoted on the media does not go unnoticed. Similarly, our voices and our opinions does not go unheard, can never be left unnoticed. With the ever-growing infatuation of the society for newer things to talk about and newer things to gossip about, makes media the perfect getaway to introduce new ideologies to change the society. For my actions speak louder than words kind of opponents. The influence of media in changing your society can be foreseen through practical events rather than just theory. The quiet springing of the Libyan and Tunisian revolutions in 2011 showed us that even the words of the quiet can bring massive redundancy in the society we know and live in. The Egyptian revolution that followed Libya and Tunisia showed us that it was led by just one Twitter hashtag, which led to a silent protest against the privacy and censorship rights in Egypt. Doesn't this show us that the media indeed has influenced our society? According to an online poll by Harvard, 83% of the millennials believe that the media can be used to change our society. Isn't it enough to show us that the media is indeed powerful? My opponents have seemed to forget that this is not the age of forced opinions nor blind belief, but let me remind you, forgotten, that this is the age of change, and change is inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you, Xth. The next speaker on the dais is A3.
Why do you need a second opinion in shaping your opinion? Don't we have enough sense to know what is good for us? Respect yourselves and worthy opponents. Let me start by saying that media stabs information into our brain, but the shield of common sense available for each and every one of us blocks the false interpretation and miscommunication imparted on us by the media. 21st century has marked the expiry date of media's influence. Opinion of one is no more based on opinion of another. The time has come when everyone is subjected to their own free will. This can be seen in the Delhi elections exit poll, where media predicted the dominance of BJP. However, the ability of Indians to know what is right for them outplayed the intentions of media to showcase the weakness of Aam Aadmi Party, as it was the latter who emerged victorious. Education has become the nail in the coffin for media's influence. This can be seen in countries like the United States, where education is considered crucial for everyone. In the recent US elections, the media tried to portray Donald Trump as a joke and an unworthy candidate for the position. However, the free will of Americans and their ability to know what is right for them and to choose what is right for them emerged victorious. The attitude of media to turn a tiger into a goat and vice versa is no more a secret. It has become a recurring theme. Lies provided by the media is just a delay to the inevitable release of truth. If not today, tomorrow, the truth can't be held back forever. Arushi Talwar, a 14-year-old girl, was murdered. And guess who was accused guilty? Her own parents. The media, due to their financial greed, had to blow this story wide up. The shame caused to the Talwar family by the media can't be explained in words. It can't be compensated in money. What was the motive behind this action? When the court verdict came, Arushi Talwar's parents were proven innocent by the unbiased minds of the judges. Beware, media members, that all your fake drama is no more behind the curtain. We people know what is going on. The end of your manipulation is here. I sign out conveying the message that you are the sculptor of your views and not the media. Being influenced by media is like letting the captain of an other ship sail your ship. You are the sailor of your ship. You are the sculptor of your views. We humans have conquered everything, and I'm confident we can conquer this tragic character. We humans know what is right for us. The unpleasant comment of another is never welcomed. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Rizvi. The next speaker on the dais is F4.
Media, the revolutionary invention, is nothing but a counterweight to the ongoing devaluation of human life. Good morning, everyone, esteemed judges, guests, teachers, audience, and my worthy opponents. Today I'll be speaking for the topic, media as an effective tool for influencing the society. Society relies a great deal for technology, for news, entertainment, and education. Media is seen as one of the greatest influential factors on the opinions and the viewpoints of society in modern world. Media includes a range of sources, for example, magazines, internet, television, books, and radio. All of these sources are what contribute to the beliefs of what society believes life and culture to be. Media provides speedy access to various forms of communication. It has exposed individuals of all ages at different aspects of the world that previous generations had no exposure to. This vast revelation has educated the youth, thus making them resourceful and more aware about the world today. Media is actively transmitted on a day-to-day basis via millions of people and their access to resources. It is a fast-growing field. For example, the commercial world has experienced immense amount of developments in this sector due to rapidly increasing demand. It enforces and teaches society rules and regulations, not to mention provide social circumstances of individuals disobeying the laws and regulations. The most predominant role the media provides, according to the functionalist research, is the entertainment. Even young children have sophisticated level of media literacy and understand more about how the media works than others giving them accountability for. Now, every individual has developed their own way of thinking of their lifetime, which implicates that the media does not fully impact individuals. Society takes in media's information in the context of their own experiences, interests, and values. Media is a tool that can cause a great change and impact the society mostly. There are several high points that can be taken from the existence of media. If it were not the media, the society would not be informed about world events, health diseases, situations, and other which are taking place. Above all, media has a pivotal role in shaping a democratic society. No democracy will ever function without media, because it debates the policies of the ongoing governments and invites the attention of the society. Society then realizes the policy of the governments, and thereby they can choose the best ever governments in the future. Overall, the media has created many advantages for society, has created a whole new generation and a way of life. What can be said is that media is not the enemy. It is our ally, and it has provided us with the resources that we never knew before. I conclude my speech and thank you for a patient hearing.
The next speaker on the dais is A4.
Stephen Conway has said that every human has 4 endowments: self-awareness, consciousness, independent will, and creative imagination. Respected judges, my worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen, a warm good morning. Today I am here to oppose the motion, media is an influencing tool for our society. I hold the opinion that this majority of society is not influenced by the media, because media can only try to influence us, but it's our own opinion and our own critical thinking which allows us to be influenced by it. For an example, we can see many advertisers cleverly create a misleading impression of their products in order to increase their sellings. But we don't buy all the materials which we see in advertisements. The decision depends on us. So what is justified or not is decided by our brain by observing the facts and realities. In my opinion, to live is to experience. Many warning signs are given on the packets of cigarettes, but still many of millions of people every day don't see these. But still many of the people, millions of people ignore these simple warnings, because we all learn through our own experience. James Russell has truly said that a thorn of experience is worth more than a forest of warnings. Moreover, around 370 million people are indigenous, and these people cover 5% of world's population. They are present in over 90 countries, and they are not affected by any kind of media. Furthermore, as you know, in 2017, around 821 million people don't get food to live a healthy life. On one hand, they cannot afford a daily's meal, and on the other hand, how can they afford any kind of media? For example, like newspaper, which is the cheapest media. Furthermore, as you know, in 2017, around 940,000 people died because of AIDS-related illness. HIV continues to be a global health issue. In a study, it shows that estimate 36.9 million people were living with HIV, even after so many awareness given by the media. If this is the prevailing condition, how can we say that media is an effective tool? And also, we should concentrate on these politics. All blacks are brought to the light by the media, and these corrupted governments continue this rule that society is not influenced by the media. Now let me summarize my point by telling that media is not a powerful tool which is affecting on our society, where many people think by their conscience, where many people hard work for their survival. Once again, I stick to my opinion that media is an effective tool for our society. Thank you.
Thank you, A4. The next speaker on the dais is F5.
Malcolm X once said, media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And that's power, ladies and gentlemen, because they control the mind of the masses. Good morning, respected members of the jury, friends, teachers, and my worthy opponents. I'm here to speak for the notion that media is an effective tool for influencing society. What is media? A question that triggers our mind every now and then. Media is one of the most powerful tools of communication in developing countries as well as in developed countries. According to Shia Bennett, 1 out of every 7 minutes is spent on social networking sites such as Facebook. But the biggest question here is, does media impact our lives? Wait a minute, let me rephrase that question. Does media have a positive impact on our lives? To me, the answer is yes. For the vast majority of people, the overall outcome of media has been positive. Social media, let's take social media for consideration. Social media has helped us to stay connected with our friends and families, even if you stay 1,000 miles away. It keeps you and me updated on what goes on around the world and so on. Advancements in technology have been overwhelmingly beneficial for mankind. From the first tools honed out of flint by the prehistoric man to the latest cures for cancer. Every innovation has made our lives a bit more easier, more stronger, and most importantly, more comfortable. The media impacts our everyday lives greatly, mainly because everyone and everything is put on media sites. Media and social media outlets have created international ignorance about topics because we fail to look any further than a screen and our fingertips. Another question arises in my mind. Does media change our mindsets and thoughts? Yes, it has perpetuated many forms of prejudice and discrimination. For example, when a certain stereotype is portrayed in the media, let's say male superiority over females, it normalizes the whole idea, right? It hence influences its viewers to believe in that stereotype. It instills it into the viewers and gives them a fixed mindset about it. The media's influence has done so much good to society by exposing various scams, frauds, embezzlements, and corruption, and I can keep going on and on, leading to the initiation of inquiries and other processes against the perpetrators of such crimes. With technological advancements in our society, why don't we all for once just encourage and flourish the force for good use while tackling the small minority of users like my opponents who use media for undesirable reasons? Respected members of the jury and ladies and gentlemen, it is common sense, but it feels like common sense is not so common on that side of the stage. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker F5. The next speaker on the dais is A5.
You can't upload love. You can't download time. You can't Google all of life's answers. You must actually live your life. Honorable jury, respected teachers, and my fellow parents, a very good morning. Today, I would like to light my views standing against the notion media is an effective tool in influencing the society. It is a common mindset that media has an effect on what we do and what we think. But this is not true. The job of media is to inform the public about what is happening and not lead the charge. My grandparents' entertainment was their parents' life experiences, not Netflix. They took pictures, kept it forever, not Snapchatting and posting on the stories just for 24 hours. Yes, there are few extremists who believe every single thing spouted by a TV show host or news channel. But the number of such kind of people is blown out of a proportion by action-oriented people. We all are educated and free-living individuals. We can make up our mind by ourselves and not aimlessly follow a TV celebrity or social media. It is a common mistake to think that media has a powerful force in the contemporary society which determines our actions and our identities. If so, then why racism?
attention-seeking behavior and avoid stepping into that outrage honey trap. Because even if we prove a blatant lie wrong, the liar has still won. Why? Because we paid attention to it. Mind is not a clay to be molded. No matter how hard you try to influence it, its supremacy enables it to think on its own. So my dear friends, our worth is not measured in likes, comments, followers, or notes, but in the ability to love and work. So let us keep those comments to ourselves. Take the note, lead, and influence this society with our work to make this world a better place. Thank you. Thank you, A5. The next speaker on the dais is F6.
Wow, such a nice dress. I need to like it. It's time for my favorite TV serial. I should watch it. The news on the Google says S9 Note is the best phone. I should buy it. Welcome to the internal model of a typical media-affected society. Respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. Media exerts an enormous influence on the lives of men, women, teenagers, and children. It particularly influences the way in which they dress, talk, behave, and think. Media in the forms of radio, television, print, as well as electronic media, which helps the society to connect to the world, and the viewers perceive the world just as the media presents. We are told every day what to buy, why to buy, when to buy, and what to do with it. And we trust the media people whom we have never met, yet they are showing us what to do. What do we do then? Oh, we'll listen to them. This is how media shapes us and influences our society. There are some techniques used by media for influencing the decisions of the people, like repeated exposure over time of a similar message makes it easy for the people to accept them as truth, even when they know that the messages are false. Hitler's propaganda minister Dr. Goebbels once said, "Tell a lie 100 times and it becomes the truth." Just consider how often television ads are repeated. The companies behind the ads are only willing to pay because it works. Think of political messages, religious tenets, economic ideas. Just by simple repetition, they influence our society. Media has also played an important role in the elections around the world in countries like USA, Iran, and India. It is said, whoever controls the media controls the minds of the society. Whenever scientists, researchers, and other experts are quoted, people rarely check the validity of any claims made. It is assumed that people are doing such a work, it must be valid information. Another tactic used by media. Violence, aggression, crimes, and wars broadcasted through media cause psychological tension and negative emotion. In my last vacation to India, I had been to my grandma's village. There, we had no internet, no television, that is no connection to media. Yet, I was distracted in my conversations. On seeing the sites, my first reaction was to take a photo and post it on social media. I was having withdrawal symptoms. What had media done to me? Numerous studies have linked high use of media with anxiety. The youth spends an average of 3 hours a day on television and electronic media. We don't even eat for 3 hours a day. Anything we do for such long time has lasting effects on us. So friends, don't you agree with me to the fact that the society has been manipulated from thoughts to behavior? Media is an effective tool for influencing the society. I conclude, media footprint may be modest, but its brain print is enormous. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker F6. The next speaker on the dais is A6.
of society, respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends, a very warm good morning to all of you. Although it is quite easy to say that media has an effect on society, and some people even blame media for leading the society, but this is not true. Media's job is only to report and inform the society about what is going on. Media sensationalizes everything, so much so that it becomes unrealistic and over-exaggerated. So what is justified or not, it is our brain's decision by observing facts and reality. A wise man makes his own decisions, whereas an ignorant man follows the media. Almost all media outlets have some bias to say that CNN or Fox News give fair balanced stories is wrong. Almost everyone has some sort of bias. A liberal person does not watch Fox News as it is a conservative news channel. We all have brains and we all can think for ourselves. If a debate on a news channel is reported by an untruthful journalist, we won't be watching it. So, for the channel to be watched by the majority of the people, they have to present the truth. In this way, media is not having an influence on the society. In fact, the society is having an influence on media. People in the society have free thinking and make up their minds themselves and do not aimlessly follow whatever is touted by the media. If on a Quran translation site I find any part of the translation wrong, I would never open that site again. Rather, I would propagate my family and friends not to use that site. So, if the site organizers want this site to run, they have to present the correct translation. Psychologists claim that media does not have simple direct stimulus effect on its audience. This can be illustrated by the example of Japan, where movies are famous for extreme violence, but the crime rate in Japan is very low, lower than those societies which view crime rarely. Although my worthy opponent may feel that media is an effective tool for influencing the society, as if there is no other factors influencing the society, I would like to draw attention to the major factors that influence a society: family, friends, education, culture, and religion. Unlike a drop of water which loses its identity when it joins the ocean, a man does not lose his identity in the society in which he lives. We all have a role in influencing the society, even if we think that we do not. Skondak reveals in his book, Myths of Media and Audiences, that we as society use the claims against media just to explain why the world is having so many problems. Skondak proves that such claims have never been confirmed, but are still widely believed. Blaming media for the present problems in the society is the surest way for staying in those problems without taking any responsibilities on ourselves. I would like to sum up by saying, media is not about exploitation of society, but it is a service to our society. Thank you.
Thank you, A6. The next speaker on the dais is F7.
Like fragrance in flowers, like salt in food. Without media in this era, our day is a doom. Respected dignitaries, honorable chief guests, respected members of the jury, and my beloved friends, and my most worthy opponents, good morning to one and all. Today, I am speaking firmly for the motion, media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Obviously, every topic has two sides, a positive one and a negative one. But I reckon that media falls more towards the positive side of things than the negative. Allow me to prove it. Here I prove that media serves us and the society in tremendous amount of ways. Media can help us connect to our loved ones. Media can help us get loads of education. Media can help us get loads of information. Media can help us achieve our day-to-day life. Media can help us in updating our knowledge. Media can help us and our government agencies in fighting against criminals. Media can help us build relationships. Media can help us build communities. Media can help us raise awareness. I've run out of fingers to hold of how much media can help us, my friends. Now let me ask you some questions. How many of you know about the natural disaster that happened in Kerala? How do we know this? Thanks to the great media. How many of you know about the disease, Ebola? How do we know about this? Thanks to media. And how many of you know about the tragedy, 9/11? I wonder how we know about it. A teen might decide to take up martial arts training. Why? After watching one of Bruce Lee's movies. My dear friends, I would like to conclude by saying media is a hub where we can all get education. Media is a hub where we can all stay connected. And media is a hub where we can get enlightened, enriched with loads and loads of information. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Speaker F7. The next speaker on the dais is A7.
Ideas without actions are useless. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. I stand here confidently speaking against the motion, media is an effective tool for influencing the society. Get a flat stomach in 3 days and oil that turns your grey hair black. Advertisements like these pollute our minds with lies and fake fantasies. Keeping in mind how corrupt the media is makes me feel that the next door Auntie Ji is now a more reliable source of information than media. Today's news channels are filled with the interviews of corrupt and insensitive politicians sitting in front of a camera, making irrelevant promises which we neither believe nor are we influenced by. News channels produce more noise than news, more problems than solutions, more coverage on the most irrelevant issues in the world than issues concerning the common man. Conducting debates scream at guests that they invite and do not allow them to speak. I'm sorry to say, my friend, but I would rather switch my TV off than have Arnab Goswami scream through the screen. Do you think his screams affect anyone here? My worthy opponent, why is media not questioning the government on convicting Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi, who completely shattered the Indian economy? A corrupt media for a corrupt government. Do you think people would watch news that is completely fabricated? Do you know that the same day when Priya Prakash Warrior winked at a classmate, a 22-year-old young officer died at the border for our security? Shame on media. Shame on media that considers an actress winking at an actor more important than a soldier who sacrificed his precious life. Media, instead of providing strength to the weak, empowers those who are already in power. Instead of raising their voice on the rich and corrupt politicians as to where is the hard-earned money of the poor going, gives them a louder voice. Shame on media that easily shuts its mouth when stuffed with money, that sweeps the problems of the poor under the rug instead of finding solutions to it, and instead of finding the truth, conceals it. Gauri Lankesh, Shujat Bukhari, Sudhir Datta, and many more. They are famous journalists who tried to open our eyes to the truth, but they brutally killed 18 journalists in 5 years, 7 journalists in 18 months, 3 journalists in 24 hours were killed in our country. A corrupt media is not worthy of influencing our thoughts. Today, we, the young generation, we have higher standards. We turn to greater personalities like Abul Kalam Azad or Mother Teresa, whose words are filled with truth, not violence. Media today is in the worst condition possible because it does not show the truth. People working for it do not speak the truth, and people watching it do not get to hear the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker A7. The next speaker on the dais is F8.
Participants here requested to stick to the timings.
Ting ting. Oh, I got 14 new notifications on WhatsApp. An amazing news article for today. If media would not be influencive, would WhatsApp forwards really find place? Or would news be read every morning with complete faith? A very good morning to one and all present here. Today I am here to speak for the topic, media being an influencing tool for influencing society. Media has always existed, as always as humans and ideas have. From the cave paintings of prehistory to today's online news feeds, all was media, all is media. Media is a portal that connects different parts of the world. According to a BBC articles, Koreans are forced by the government to live in complete seclusion from the world. Imagine the whole world like that. Please allow me to explain how and why media is influences. First of all, I would say that today's world is governed by media because today's people are influenced by media. Further, talking about fashion trends. Who is not crazy about them? If people would not be crazy, how would these trends gain so much popularity? Is this not the influence of media? Further, talking about your buying choice. Is it not governed by overrated stuff? You never want to buy anything that is underrated because you depend on the ratings which are shown by media. It influences your buying choice and your standards of living in a certain way. Now, let us ask ourselves a question. Why we don't buy anything that doesn't come in the advertisement? Why? Because advertisements have an influence on our mind. Advertisements have the capability to capture and steer the mind. Now, moving on. Consider two people, a prime minister and a normal person who wants to be famous. Now, talking about the prime minister, let's take the example of Shri Narendra Modi ji. In the 2014 elections, why did he win? He had the power of media. Even after not a very smooth run, he still governs people's heart. There are so many followers who follow him even now. Now moving on to the person who wants to be famous. I would say he doesn't need to be special. He should not have talent. Because talent runs in every blood, but not everyone becomes famous. Talking about this guy, I would say he just needs to cook up a delicious fiction. Find a TV news reporter or some form of media and then show his cooked up fiction in a delicious way on TV. I would say he would gain instant fame. I bet on that. Why? The influence of media. Now further, talking about why media influences us. Media influences us because media creators create media in such a way that we concentrate on what media wants us to. Now, speaking further, let's talk about the Colgate ad. 9 out of 10 dentists recommend Colgate. The whole crowd concentrates on the 9 dentists, not the 10th one. Why? Now, I would like to conclude by saying that the more the news circulates, the more the discussion, and the more the impact of media. Thank you and have a very nice day. Thank you, F8. The next speaker on the dais is A8.
It's quite funny how the fantasy portrayed by the media seems more realistic than reality itself. Respected members of the jury, faculty from various schools, not to forget my worthy opponents, and last but definitely not the least, the lovely audience out there. A fantastic morning to one and all present here. I stand before you strongly opposing today's topic. Media is an effective tool for influencing the society. So what is media? One of the most powerful tools to have ever existed, right? Now just imagine the level of ease through which any evil mind in the world could exploit it. Today, it affects to such an adverse extent that it even affects our mindset and behavior. Jim Morrison very rightfully stated, whoever controls the media controls the minds. And as far as the effectiveness goes by, the Oxford Dictionary describes it as successful in bringing an intended or desired result. And what does media do today? Destroy people's eating habits, giving them a daily dosage of depression, glorify obscenities like alcohol, violence, drugs and sex, and finally, suggesting people on how to commit suicide. I ask you, my worthy opponents, is this the intended effect of media? Sadly, this very effectiveness that my worthy opponents speak of is literally causing people to suicide. Hashtag Blue Whale Challenge, hashtag Momo Challenge. Any idea, my worthy opponents, how these were spread? Yes, through the face of the evil and notorious media. Logan Paul's video earlier this year, we found a dead body, literally mocks the victims of suicide, yet they are the ones who caused it. A child who blamed himself for the death of his father has now gone into a complete stage of depression and trauma. Why? Because famous celebrities like Logan Paul wanted fame and a few views. I demand to know, my worthy opponents, was this the desired effect of media? Once again, this is what has caused. After all, it's the celebrities that we sought to be. Their perfectly gel hair, sponsored moisturized skin, and most importantly, their fame has caused an entire generation full of attention whores, because the level of desperateness among people for a few worthless likes, followers, subscribers is purely substantial. The hashtag Kiki in my feeling challenge caused thousands of road accidents throughout the world. Guess what people decided to do? They videotaped it and they shared it on media. This shows the level of addiction people have towards media. Studies now show from the University of Southern California in 2016 that the brainwave patterns of drug addicts was found to be very similar to that of media addicts. Or should I say, my worthy opponents. In conclusion, the media is just as effective as a chainsaw is at cutting vegetables. They both get the job done, but when it comes to damaging the people, they are number one. With that said, I believe my worthy opponent should just set aside the fragile egos and accept the fact that media is indestructible but destructive for the society. Thanks.
Thank you, Speaker A8. The next speaker on the dais is F9.
Good or bad? Moral or immoral? Authentic or unauthentic? Sorry. Good or bad? Moral or immoral? Honest or dishonest? Authentic or unauthentic? Media is an influence to the society. A very warm good morning to one and all present over here. Respected judges, teachers, your opponents, and my dear friends. Today, I shall be speaking for the topic, media is an influence to the society. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. It has the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent, and that's power because it controls the minds of the masses, as quoted by Malcolm X. The history of media's influence to the society can be tracked down to the days where dramas were performed in various ancient cultures. Dramas are basically They affect our living style, culture, and the way we live, until they influence the society. What role did the French philosophers play in the French Revolution? Huge. In fact, their contributions have affected the world. The writings of the great philosophers like Montesquieu and Rousseau have provided revolutionary ideas that inspired the people to fight for their rights. Doesn't this mean that media is an influence to the society? Many foreigners around the world watch Indian serials and tend to adopt many Hindi words in their daily routine, like Didi for sister and chanting for peace. Online learning gives a chance to the students around the world for imparting distance education. Education has become more entertaining like never before. The cheapest media, print media, are being printed in every regional language to facilitate the reader to get information and knowledge. Today, the media plays a key role in enhancing globalization, which connects all the countries around the world. It is clear that media influences the society. It can bring a change in the system of beliefs, attitudes towards life, and personalities altogether. I would like to rest my speech by saying that media is an influence to the society, and that's undeniable because it can make or break the belief of a people. What consumes the media controls your mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. For example, we are studying with using phones. We'll do our homeworks using phones, etc. We'll complete a work, we'll do one question, second question, and a tweet came. Some message came, ding dong. We will say, still some hours left, 1-2 hours left, we can finish in few minutes. Let us see. What we will do, we will see one video, second video, third video. We are wasting our times. What does media do? Entertaining. Now hashtag oh my god challenge is going on. OMG. What does it do? Kiki challenges, blue whale challenges, surfing on car challenges, where they'll do nothing. Out of 10, 9 will be in harsh condition. They will be admitted in hospitals. Only some will survive. They will be in the top of trending. They will be in the top to show others to come and join this challenge. Influence others to come and join this challenge and be in hospital like other night. Nowadays, even in advertisement, more than TV programs, advertisements are coming. If you are watching any news, if 30-minute news, advertisement will be 15 minutes, half, more than half. Day by day, the media is increasing. Nowadays, there are many news channels. They are running behind one another. They are wanted to increase their TRP rates. Why? Because they need money. For money, they are increasing the TRP rates. In advertisement, they are not showing any quality. They are not saying the quality of the news. They are just showing anything to increase the TRP of the channel, to show the channel is in the top. What does movie do? Nothing. It just wastes time. It just shows that this man done this man done this. Most of the history, there are famous historians. Upon them, many movies are written. But the characters are true, but not the story. The story are totally false. Only the characters and some scene are true. Not all the scenes. They're just influencing our mind to just think. Even in study size, there are a lot of advertisement. You will see a paragraph, after one paragraph, there will be a lot of advertisements. At last, I will say that
Media is like a friend, acting like a friend in front of us, but at the same time having a whole sharp knife and chopping our back with a very harsh condition. Thank you.
Thank you, A9. That was surely some power-packed performances. Please give them a huge round of applause. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Thank you.
What you allow is what you continue. It always seems impossible until it's done. The most engaging and attractive part of the debate is here, the rebuttal. Rebuttal is a form of evidence or fact that is presented to contradict or nullify the other context that has been presented by the opposition. You face your greatest opposition when you are closest to your biggest miracle. Let us start with the rebuttal session. The first speaker on the list is F1.
Greetings once again. Some of my worthy opponents just said that eating disorders in teenagers, self-harm games like Momo Challenge, Blue Whale Challenge, Kiki Challenge are the influence and effects of media. I strongly oppose the statement by saying media is not a cause but a contributor. We are using media to pass our activities which may influence others. Another worthy opponent also said it is not media that influences the societies but relatives, family and friends. Well, I would like to ask my opponent if he or she was trying to say that orphans and introverts never get influenced in this life. Another worthy opponent has also stated that media is an electronic drug. Come on, my dear friends, who does not use media in this techno-savvy world? It is us, humans, over-dependence and overuse, which made media an electronic drug. Another worthy opponent has also said that we cannot blame humans for everything what media does. Media is one of the most powerful and influential human creations. We humans use it for our daily activities. If it's not the humans that need to be blamed for misusing it, then what should be? I recall an old saying hearing my opponent that if your face is ugly, you cannot blame the mirror. Thank you.
Thank you, F1. I'd like to request A1 to come on the dais.
A long and pleasant good morning to one and all once again. So one of my opponents said that media influenced us in voting as well. So I have heard about one of the education minister who had been media influenced us to vote on him. Well, what kind of an education minister is he when he can't even pronounce Liman ultrasonic silicovolcanoconiosis? Well, let's not make it hard. Let's make it water. He can't even say water. He makes it pani or water. And on one of his press meets, he literally said bagage and then say baggage. He told, first of all, I thought he said, oh, okay, he ran, but he was fat enough not to run. So yes, most of you guys have thought that influences of media on society is always positive. But let me correct you, it's never positive. It's always negative. They cook up fake news that can be for TRP ratings, which is called as television rating points. They only cook up news so that they can get competition between each other and not against to save lives that aren't young ones. There have been many incidents that happen or influenced in negative ways. When I mean by voting as well, after the education minister, let me jump on to like a president, not to be rude, not to be mean or something. Like, don't take it serious. So, well, yes, if I say president, he's supposed to have a proper accent, a proper gesture, or like a fun person who entertains us, like Trump. Like, yes, I had an influence on him calling him a Donald Duck. Well, I guess I have to take away the bell from her because she keeps clicking on it. Well, it's okay. We'll meet soon. Thank you.
Thank you, A1.
Good morning once again. Seems like the antenna of my worthy, intelligent opponents doesn't pick up all the channels. Well, one of my opponents stated that the educated people can abolish the influence of media. Then, my dear fellow friends, why do you think the youthsters in our country are running behind to take a course in mass media, graphic designing, and many more? And then why do you think the so-called highly educated people makes it necessary to start the day with a cup of coffee in one hand and a newspaper in the other one? Well, one of my opponents again stated that media exaggerates. Isn't it nice to hear this exaggerated story? Many people only open the newspaper in the morning just to hear these type of things. My dear friends, this is the 21st century. Is there any one person who is not influenced by the media? My dear fellow friends and worthy opponents, being brainless, everyone has a privilege. But please don't abuse it, okay? Thank you. Thank you, F2. Our next speaker is A2.
Just motivate them with big round of applause.
Good morning once again. My worthy opponents said that media conducts awareness programs. So let me ask you a question. Why is the number of old age homes increasing all around the world, even after all the videos spreading worldwide awareness? If it actually influences human mind, it's about time all the old age homes close down. What about tourist abuse, child marriages? Governments are making laws against tourist abuse and publishing it throughout media, TV channels, ads, newspapers, and posters. But is there any change? No, the tourists are still being abused all over the world. What about child marriages? It's still happening all over the world, even after the awareness programs are conducted. Finally, my worthy opponent said here, whoever controls the media controls the mind. But I would like to say that if you can control your mind, media, or whatever it is, no one can control you. It's always your mindset that wins. Thank you.
Thank you, A2. Our next speaker is F3.
Top of the morning once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I do agree to the saddening conditions of Africa they proclaim, but let me remind you, oh forgotten, that they too have priorities, and if I were hungry, I would indefinitely mind the absence of media. Nor would I spontaneously start playing PUBG. My opponents themselves have proclaimed that the effects of media are all justified by the people's minds. Yet, why think twice when even the 3-year-old over there clapped when he heard Fortnite? The society we live in is filled with the pursuit of satisfaction. Yet many ask you, don't you feel satisfied when your Instagram stories of today at least get a view full of 50 people? Shame on us, shame on us. If we are playing the shame game, let all the shame be on us. But let me tell you, wasn't it the media that brought into this society, influencing hashtags such as #MeToo, #NoFam, #BlockFriday, and let us not forget, #HelpUs, Shushmaji. According to the Brandwatch organization, there are 300
Thank you, F3. Our next speaker is A3.
Respected judges and my worthy opponents, good morning once again. So first of all, I would like to inform my worthy opponents that there is a clear line between being influenced and popularizing. For example, we all know about global warming and its consequences. But how many of us rode the cycle from our home to the auditorium today? None of us. None of us work for it, but we say, this is the same thing. We are not influenced, we are just popularized. And about my worthy opponents saying about being advertised, let me tell you, out of the 1,000 products advertised, only one gets recognized. So is my worthy opponent saying that it's the power of media and not the quality of the product that determines its success? Seems like the elevator of my opponents hasn't reached the top floor quite yet. Some of my opponents said that even the educated people read newspaper in the morning. Well, let me tell you, my dear opponent, that there is a clear line between being influenced and knowing information. They are just reading to know the information. That doesn't necessarily mean being influenced. And all the people going for admissions in the media field, they are not going because they feel that media influences people. They are going purely because of their financial ability. They want financial gain. That's the reason they are going, and not the influence of media. By saying these points, I hope that all of us know media does not influence us. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, A3. Our next speaker is F4.
A very August morning once again. Here's what I want to highlight. Media and its forms are inexpensive and easy to use. Let's be real, they signify a trend towards more interaction whereby people create as well as consume content. It is possible to share stories, produce other contents and influence the media environment. Well, there are always two sides of everything. It depends on the perspective and how you preserve it. It also depends on the mindset of the people as to which side they look for, like in many other matters. I assure you all that our minds is little developed by which it won't be found controlled as we discover reality through media. We of course won't fall in trap. I'm not sure in your case. What I understood is that you guys are all there to grab those unfavorable events, incidents, and sometimes the ongoing challenges. But when we come to find our benefit in anything, we find it's good in order to take advantage beyond the other unuseful facts. Thank you, and wish you a proud day.
Thank you, F4. Our next speaker is A4.
I stand here once again to rebut few points mentioned by my few opponents. One of my worthy opponent has said that media is affecting our culture and making us classic. I strongly oppose this motion by telling that by following culture does not mean classic. For being classic does not mean we should follow other cultures. There are many famous people like Mother Teresa, she was classic. Sudha Murthy, she is an Indian engineer as well as teacher and a great writer. She still wears stereotype sari, and she is also classic. Once again, if we speak about globalization, it was our need. Media was the only catalytic agent in globalization, but we cannot say that globalization happened because of media. Turks, Arabs, Persians were sitting in both land and water routes. So when there was necessity, Europeans found a sea route. This was the starting of globalization. From that time, people started traveling and trade. Another argument of my worthy opponents was about online education. I strongly believe a true learning occurs through experience. We can see warning about ill effects of alcohol, tobacco, or any other drugs. For these reasons, once again, I stick to my opinion that our society is not affected by the media. Thank you.
Thank you, A4. Our next speaker is F5.
Respected members of the jury and ladies and gentlemen, you heard an entertaining story from the other side, a cheesy story made of Swiss cheese, and as you know, Swiss cheese just wouldn't be Swiss cheese without the holes. Now allow me to tell you the full story. One of my opponents stated that media influences violence. Let me enlighten my opponent. A person does not go from being a perfectly adapted member of society, watch a person get shot in a movie, or get influenced by PUBG or Fortnite, and then go out in the blue and then shoot somebody themselves. One of my opponents also stated that media influences corruption. If you didn't hear, I clearly stated that media exposes various scams, frauds, embezzlements, and corruption. One of my opponents confidently stated that media degrades academic performance. I'm sorry to burst your balloon, but there is no scientifically verified proof of media or social media stealing valuable time of schoolwork from pupils. It's funny how my opponents are debating about the bad influence of media when they themselves have used media to convey their speeches today. One of my opponents spoke about global warming. I wonder how he came to know that. Through the influence of media, right? Thank you.
Thank you, F5. Our next speaker is A5. A very good morning once again. Twitter makes them feel that they're wise. Instagram makes them feel that they're photographers. And Facebook makes them feel that they have friends. But my dear opponent, open your eyes. Life is tough. One of my knowledgeable opponents said about how media affected the movements, the example, the nationalist movement. Let me tell you, famous movements like the women's liberation movement in 1960, the apartheid movement in 1948, were these all affected by media when there was no media that time? Now, entertainment, for them, entertainment is Fortnite and PUBG. Oh, really? You know, how does it affect us? A person studying, like, amazingly, and then a notification goes, bro, I'm free, come let's play Fortnite. The books are lying down and he's opening his Xbox and playing Fortnite. Like, studies don't really even care for him. If education was done everything by media, then why experienced teacher? Because only experienced teacher can give us what media cannot give us. If advertisements by media against racism, communalism, violence were effective and influential, then my dear friend, this world would be heaven on earth. I don't get it. It feels like they are the
what is happening right now. Thank you.
Kindly stick to the timings.
Thank you, A5. Our next speaker is F6.
Does not influence the society. Donald Trump was elected as the President of United States in 2016 and people all around the world were stunned. How could a reality TV star become the world's most powerful man? New York Times and other publications credited the incredible power of media for handing over Trump the keys of the White House. My worthy opponent, media does influence the decisions of the society. Also, a wise man is influenced by media. That's the reason why judges of severe crime cases are not allowed to read newspapers or watch news channels. This is solely to make sure that their decisions does not get influenced by the media. Those are high-ranking judges. What about the common man who blindly follows every single word of media? My learned opponent, media is designed towards blind acceptance by society, promoting a consumer society. For example, when we walk down the street, we could see many teens wearing the same dress. Media imposes a model of style, fashion, attitude, behavior, and makes the teens act similarly. Do my worthy opponents know that many criminals have confessed their crimes encouraged by media? For example, Alan Lindsay's case 2003 killed his best friend and said a character from the film Queen of Damn encouraged him to do so. We have many more such examples in our home country. May I ask my worthy opponents, don't they get distracted by the little buzz on the phone right across the table? Every being on earth who was exposed to media is affected by media. Thank you.
Our next speaker is A6.
Any new medium being introduced to the society will be welcomed with myths and rumors that are dangerous for the society. Of course, a crime appearance is completely immoral, but there is no direct linkage between media and antisocial behavior. Many claim that media is responsible for the antisocial action just to get rid of the responsibilities. Don't throw stones on media. I'm amazed by the view of my opponents that a lie told 100 times becomes true. So if media tells that a dog is not a dog, it's a tiger for 100 times, will you believe it? No! Truth is always truth, regardless of its understanding, disbelief or ignorance. I totally disagree with my opponent. It takes discipline not to let media steal your time. People are conscious creatures and know how to spend their time. My learned opponent, people should be informed about the world they live in and its problems that represents its reality honestly. This is exactly what media does. This is the first step towards solving problem, not creating problem. I reject that political views are influenced by newspapers and news shows they see. But political views are influenced by their backgrounds and the culture of the society. Media does not lead the society. In fact, the society leads media. I want to say a lot, but I feel that the time will go up because I have lots more to say. So at the end, I would just like to say, media is good when you think it is good. Media is bad when you don't think. Thank you.
Thank you, A6. Our next speaker is F7.
agree on. Once again, a very good morning to one and all. My friend or my worthy opponent quoted that which I don't agree on, that media is an electronic drug. When a celebrity talks to a teen to go off drugs, he might just listen. When my worthy opponent quoted, which I do not agree on, that media distracts us from studies, well, when a celebrity talks about her favorite book, our teenager might be tempted to grab a book themselves. As a matter of fact, media helps us in education. My worthy opponent quoted that shame on media, the shame on the same media that helped raise voice for the case of Al-Safa. Shame on the same media that helped raise awareness for Ebola. Shame on the same media which helped raise awareness for breast cancer. Shame on media. Thank you.
Thank you, F7. Speaker is A7.
Good morning once again. I would like to begin by saying, raise your words, not your voice. I think my media addicted friends take Arnab Goswami as their inspiration. And the person you were calling out through the hashtag Sushmaji help, I don't think she replied for days. The reason we are standing here is due to the sincere conversations our school authorities had with the owner. Thank you everyone who helped us get this building back. Does anyone remember the case of Asifa? Why has our efficient media forgotten about this? Why is it not questioning the government on putting the culprits behind the bars? My worthy opponents said that the media has the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. But is that the influence that we are looking for? I would like to ask my opponents, what if you were in the place of the innocent person and the media portrayed you as guilty? Would you still stand by the media? One of my opponents also said that the media has served us and it has served us well. Can I please know how the media has helped you? Media has always stood by the rich. I would like to ask, did the media try to help people during demonetization when they were dying in long queues? Was the media able to influence the government and fight for the society? Thank you.
Thank you, A7. Our next speaker is F8.
Welcome back again. I stand here to rebut certain points which were introduced by my opponents, or our opponents. Addiction is a mental disease that has to be cured by a doctor, and media is not a medical degree holder. Despite forms of media opposing the addiction of media itself, I would say we are still addicted to media. Forget about other things. Talking about the Asifa case, I would say it was highlighted so strongly by social media that the culprits were hanged. Okay, next. Talking about HIV. Now the person who said that HIV is just spread everywhere, it's a widespread disease, I would say, did you go to every single home and check who is an HIV patient? It is through media that you got to know that there are more HIV patients and it is a widespread disease. Moving on. The most important ingredient of a champion is the desire for change and the ability to change. Now, if you can't change yourself, if you can't have an open mind and consider the ideas sent by media, I'm sorry, you're very narrow-minded. moving on, for all the negative impacts and fake news that circulates. It's a shame on us who create media. It's not a shame on media. Next. Okay. Now I would like to say that if media and news is owned by money holders like Vijay Mallya, we energetic and righteous youngsters have the power of social media. Alas, I would like to conclude by saying that it's not media which influences us. It's the ideas conveyed through media that have an influence on us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, F8. Our next speaker is A8.
Maybe if the brain was a social media app, my laudable opponents might actually start using it. Greeting once again. One of my worthy opponents said that media helps political propaganda. Yes, only if your view is to cause wars between religions and communities. Media spreads knowledge. My friends, copying your daily assignments or homeworks from the internet isn't called spreading language. If the popularity of the internet started from the 1990s, why did it take Miss Urmila 16 years to get her justice? But the Kiki challenge didn't even take 2 days to get popular. Finally, if it's the people to be blamed, then let's just set aside all the critical issues of the world, like world poverty and famine, and blame it on the people. Because it's the people's fault that they are not working hard enough. I leave now, otherwise the media might start interrogating me. Thank you.
Thank you, A8. Our next speaker is F9.
Once again. I stand here once again to oppose some of the points said by the opponents. The media tries to influence us, but the choice is ours. What you're saying is completely understandable. However, our opinions or the ability to form opinions is learned. We learn from the things and the people surrounding us. If media or social media is all we see and all we are surrounded by, our opinions are bound to change based on what we see on screen. Another debater from the opposition team spoke about the indigenous people. To this, I would like to oppose to saying that the world population is 7 billion. Then the total indigenous population around the world is estimated only 370 million. Experts believe that by the end of the present century, most of the indigenous languages will have been disappeared. Why? Isn't media an effective tool in influencing the Aboriginal society? One of my opponents also said that the media doesn't help the people who suffer from AIDS. To this, I would like to say that many people who suffer from AIDS gradually lose hope as the time passes and by even thinking of committing suicide. But media have proven to be supportive in this case. One way where it gives people hope is in spreading the news of the 51-year-old Timothy Ray Brown, who was cured after being diagnosed with AIDS and acute myeloid leukemia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, F9. Our next speaker is A9.
Good morning once again. Okay, they're saying we are getting a lot of information from media. Wow, if media is giving this much information, why don't you leave the teachers? What is the use of teachers if the media gives you all the knowledge? And you're saying media is taking care of of you. If media is taking care of you, why you need parents? Leave the parents. Let the parents go. And friends, we have friends. In social media, we have 500, 600, 700 friends. What about real life? Have you 1, 2 friends? And can you see that all those friends, maybe one person creating 500 accounts, can't he create this much accounts and communicate with you? Thank you.
Thank you, A9. Thank you all the participants. With this, we come to a conclusion for the rebuttal session.
That was truly some mesmerizing speeches delivered by our brilliant buddies. Thank you, everyone. May I now have your attention that all participants are required to take the refreshments provided. We'll be joining you shortly.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. While we're so ashamed to be alive, break the chain.